What's up, guys? Ethan Hitchcock here, Rock Bottom Foundation. Don't know why I felt obliged to just sit down and record this out of nowhere, but I felt that it needed to be said for somebody, whoever's struggling, whoever needs to hear this. You have so much potential in your life. I don't care who you are. I don't care what charges you have looming over your head. I don't care what your background may be. I don't care what your past is. I don't care what your culture, what your race, whatever it is that you think is holding you back. It is only holding you back up here. As soon as you move past that limiting belief, whatever you think is disempowering you, and find the strength to ignore whatever the obstacle is and move forward as if it is no longer an obstacle in your life, you will find a tremendous amount of power. And I say that from experience. I've been, very limited by my beliefs for some time in my life. And not to say that, like, hey, look at me now. Like, I'm fucking living in a mansion. I'm a successful 26-year-old who's making multi-million-dollar profits off of selling sneakers or anything like that. But I will say that the liberation that you find in your life and the drive that it creates and just the tremendous amount of power to push you forward to attack your goals and to attack your dreams begins when you first pinpoint whatever you believe that it is that's holding you back, or whatever's discouraging you, whether it may be fear, whether it's your perspective on things, whether it's belief that you just can't fucking do it. Like, I'm here to tell you, like, that little thing is ultimately what is going to hold you back. It is what's holding you back, and it will hold you back, and it will always hold you back until you decide to make the change mentally that you're not going to allow it. When you put it to the back of your head and just decide that you're not going to let some belief that you developed through the past, it probably doesn't even have any sort of evidence for you to actually believe that it's going to hold you back, except for maybe one or two failed attempts, and this was just the easiest thing to justify my failure, and in turn I feel more comfortable letting it like control me from stepping outside of my boundaries. You need to figure out what that is, and you need to crush it. You just need to squash it. I know for me, I've said it multiple times, and I'm a broken record on talking about fear and failure and perspective, but I know that I was hindered by the belief that, I was not capable of doing the things that I wanted to do in my life. Just didn't have it in me, no matter what it was. And really had absolutely no evidence towards believing that whatsoever. It just stemmed from lack of self-confidence, and through that, never tried. So it's like contempt prior to investigation. I just let these beliefs that, like, I was less than control me to never try. And so in never trying, I kept, as the days go by, I just kept feeding into, like, there's the proof. But, once I really took a deeper inner look at what controls me to not move forward or not, kind of just take the leap. Once I was able to identify that, I could very quickly see there was no reason for me to ever believe that whatsoever. It was just my safety blanket. It was my excuse. It was my justification. And I don't know about you, I don't need any excuses in my life. I don't want any excuses in my life. Because quite frankly, the people who become successful and the people who conquer their goals and their dreams and really make a change in the world didn't succumb to their, far-fetched justifications. They didn't have excuses. The only excuse was, why would I not do this? And that was the excuse to try and try and try and fail and fail and fail. And through many failed attempts and many just acts of courageousness and acts outside of what your head may be telling you to do. They eventually found that little piece of something that created a little bit of success in their life, and then all of a sudden the level of self-confidence, blew through the roof. And through that, then they realized, maybe I do have a lot of power in my life. Maybe I've just been like living under this, rusty shed of a belief because it suited me at the time. But now that I've taken action and I've, kind of proved it to be just a false belief, a false limitation, all of a sudden I have a lot of liberation in my life, and I feel as if I can go and do anything that I want to. And that sort of confidence produces results. And so, whatever it is you may be going through, maybe you're hitting a snag in your life. Maybe you've got ideas, but you're like, man, I'm just not, I'm not ready yet. I'm not there yet. Starting a thrift store or selling sneakers just isn't realistic. I'll do it when I have X amount of money to play with. That way I have that safety net. Like, those are excuses. And if you unravel those layers, somewhere deeper in those excuses is the real limiting belief that you just don't think that you're either capable, or that you don't deserve it, or that you're just not good enough, or maybe the way of the world's just not going to let you do that. Maybe you believe that you're just limited in life, and that these people who chase their dreams and make shit happen in their life just did it because they're blessed more than the other person. And if that, the reality is they are blessed more than most people, because they've unlocked the ability to look past what limits them. And I say all this because I go through the same thing very regularly. I can withdraw myself from wanting to take leaps in my life just because I'm not really sure. I've got a lot of things going on that, really, like, the normal person would be like, oh, I just can't take risks anymore. I've got a family to support. I've got a this and that and A and B and all this stuff. And the reality is those are my excuses I tell myself, because there's a deeper belief that maybe I don't deserve it. Maybe I'm not good enough. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, like, I don't care who you are. I don't care your background. I don't care your culture. I don't care your race. You are good enough. And if you can't find that within yourself, please reach out to me. You can DM me, you can comment, you can like, whatever. Reach out to me, make the effort. I'll fucking help you. You know what I mean? I will sincerely put all the time and the effort into figuring you out and figuring out what that limiting belief is. If you need somebody just to kind of help guide you, like, there's millions of people out there, but if you're watching this and you're one of those people who just needs somebody to kind of push them in the direction of taking action, I'm here. I'm here for anybody and everybody. I believe that that's really kind of what we need to do in this world, especially with the times that we're living in right now. Instead of fear of, like, people and kind of pushing people into an isolated bubble because of COVID and Black Lives Matter and all this stuff going on in the government, we really need to be banding together more than ever. I believe that we all need to connect and help each other grow and prosper, because I believe that, through all this stuff that is going on in the real world, like, it's feeding into the limiting belief side of things, and it's going to make you feel like, well, now it's definitely not the time. With COVID going on, I definitely can't, chase the dream yet. Like, I've got to hold down this job because I'm lucky to be getting paid and putting food on my table. We need to get past that. If there's ever a time, it's now, because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and it's going to take time to break out of that shell and that discomfort to let things manifest. So why not start now, so when things get back to normal, you've already put in the uncomfortable work to where you're taking action, and you're more likely to make things happen when everything goes back to normal, if it ever does. And the reality is, it's probably not going to go back to normal. I don't think that's the plan, but the reality is we don't need that to be the plan. We create our own plan. And within that, we have to unlock our potential. And when we unlock our potential, then we're able to take action. And these outside things that are happening outside of here can no longer hold us back from what we want to do. So if you're one of those people who wants to take some action and you're just scared, please reach out. I'm here for everybody. I'm ready to take action if you are. Actually, I'm already taking action. So if you want to join the bandwagon, Rock Bottom Foundation is here.